Good day, dear student. In today's class, we shall see the next topic of our module 3, that is the moment of inertia. So, moment of inertia, it is a well-known term to you. Let us try to define it. It is a quantity expressing a body's tendency to resist angular acceleration, which is the sum of the product of the mass of each particle in the body with the square of its distance from the axis of rotation. Mathematically, when we try to write it, it is nothing but the ratio of the net angular momentum to the angular velocity about a principal axis. In general, what we write that I is equal to mk square, where m is the mass of the object and k is the radius of gyration. So, when we try to find out in terms of a lamina, plain lamina, and we try to define it, it is a rotating body about an axis in the reference frame, resists any change in its rotational motion, and due to its property, this body is said to be possess a moment of inertia or rotational inertia about that axis. In the childhood, we used to play a toy, dear student, if you remember, that heavy weight and rotating around a horse hair, which is tie attached with a stick. And when we try to rotate that ball kind weight with the help of the stick, then it used to take rounds and it used to create a sound, interesting sound through that. And even after stopping the rotation, it used to rotate for some time. Similarly, yo-yo, it is another example you often play. So it try to resist that motion which is in rotation. So here we consider to analyze it through the considering an elemental area which is made up of particles dA. It is a representative small area, and by summing it up we get that complete area. So when dA we try to find out, write down the coordinates, it will be at the distance x and y from the reference axis ox and oy respectively. So what we get that summation of this area into the distance y square, y1 square, y2 square, different areas are there at the distances, and as a total what we get sigma dy square. Similarly, we get it as for the x-axis reference axis, we get it as sigma d into x square. Here, this sigma dA, it is nothing but the representative of this small area. So as a total, when we try to do the summation, we get it as area into the distance square, right? And in case of the whole area, we have lamina, we have to integrate it over the particular limits. So Ixx is nothing but the integration from y square dA, and Iyy is nothing but the integration x square dA. So this summation dA is nothing but the summation of this total area. So radius of gyration, just now we have seen in the general formula. So it is nothing but the radius of gyration. It is defined as the distance from an reference of axis, axis of reference, sorry, where whole mass or area treated so as not to alter the moment of inertia about the given axis. So here too we have two views of a lamina, dear students. So in the front view it is having the particles at different distances, right? R1, R2 and R3. And when we consider the thickness of that lamina, then it remains at the same distance from the reference axis, right? And that distance remains as k, that is the radius of gyration. And when we try to write down the formula for the this lamina about this axis of reference, so what we get, IAB is nothing but IAB is equal to dA into k square plus dA into k square, because this small elemental area are remaining at the same distances, isn't it? So when we try to apply it over the whole area, then we get it the final formula as integration y square dA, right? and that is the formula Ixx we get about the reference axis Ixx, and about the reference axis Yy we get it as x square dA. So the parallel axis, the distance from the reference axis will change according to the axis of reference we are selecting. As we are selecting here the x as a reference axis, so distance will be y. Similarly, when we are considering y as a reference axis, so distance will be x. And the formula is same, dear students, that distance square multiplied by the area. Now we shall see the two interesting and very useful theorem for calculating the moment of inertia of the planar lamina. First one is the perpendicular axis theorem. So what is the statement of this theorem? First of all, let us see the description, that if Ixx and Iyy be the moments of inertia of a lamina about mutually perpendicular axes Ox and Oy in the plane of the lamina, and Oz be the moment of inertia of the lamina about an axis normal to the lamina and passing through the point of intersection of the axis Ox and Oy, then we can write down that Ioz is equal to Iox plus Ioy, or Izz, that is suffix, dear student. I suffix zz is equal to I suffix xx plus I suffix yy. So it is nothing but the moment of inertia of the plane lamina. It is equal to the moment of inertia uh, of the same lamina passing through the mutually perpendicular axis. So here we have a figure, dear student. You can see here that lamina is there over the x and y axis. So this is y axis and this is the origin. So this planar area, if we try to draw it in the visualize in the 3D, so this is the x and y axis, and in this x and y axis, if this is x and y axis for this planar lamina, then the third axis z, which is passing through this and perpendicular to this planar lamina, then we can write down this formula. We can get this formula. In fact, we will see the proof that Izz is equal to Ixx plus Iyy. So it is, suppose this is x-axis and this is y-axis. So this area, this planar area is over this x and y-axis, and this is the third mutually axis passing through that. So proof of this formula is very simple, dear student. You can see that if we consider this plane here, and if we try to locate any point A here uh, through this lamina, in this lamina, let us locate this point A, which is having coordinates, and this is, suppose, point B passing on the same. So on this lamina, if we try to find out this right angle triangle, you can see here for this right angle triangle, uh, particular right angle triangle OAB, r square is equal to x square plus y square, right? And by taking the derivative from both the sides, and for the complete lamina, doing the summation of each particle, then what we get here, summation dA r square is equal to sigma dA x square plus sigma dA y square. So in this, if you see, it is dA into x square is nothing but the moment of inertia about the reference axis y, and similarly dA into y square is nothing but the moment of inertia about this reference axis x. So that is what the proof, dear student. Ioz is equal to Iox plus Ioy, where Izz is known as the polar moment of inertia. So that is the third mutually perpendicular axis to the plane. In case this Ixx and Iyy values are common, dear student, suppose we have a symmetrical lamina, then this Ixx is equal to Iyy, then in that case, this polar moment of inertia, it will be half of this addition. So in that case, Ixx is equal to Iyy, is equal to IP by 2. We shall see it while calculating the moment of inertia of some plane figure like rectangle, circle, etc. The next important theorem is the parallel axis theorem, dear student. So what this theorem says? According to this theorem, the moment of inertia of a lamina about any axis in the plane of the lamina equals to the sum of the moment of inertia about a parallel centroidal axis in the plane of the lamina and the product of the area of the lamina and the square of the distance between the two axes. So let us try to write down mathematically here IAB, that is moment of inertia of this lamina about this reference axis AB, is equal to moment of inertia of the same lamina through its centroidal axis. This G is its center of gravity. Yes, so passing through this CG. So Ixx plus area of the lamina into the distance, square of the distance in between the two reference axes. So for this proof, you can see that we are considering the elemental area again about on this lamina at a distance y from the centroidal axis. So what we get for the whole area, that IAB is equal to nothing but this area dA into this distance square h plus y square, and for the complete lamina we have to do the summation. So when we solve this equation and simplify it, what we get here, dA into h square, that is d summation dA is nothing but a into h square plus this again this sigma y square, that is nothing but the uh, moment of inertia of this centroidal axis passing through that x axis, right? Mi about the x axis, di into y square, dA into y square. And for this term we have, since sigma dA is y is 0, because there is, you can see it is passing through this same axis. Since x is the centroidal axis, so this distance is 0. So what we get here, the two terms only, IAB is equal to Ixx plus AH square, or if Ixx we denote at the centroidal axis moment of inertia as Ig, then we get this for final formula. These two formulae are very useful, dear student, while doing the calculation of the moment of inertia of any uh, particular shape. So for perpendicular axis theorem, it is specifically used for the planar lamina. So let us see how we can find out the moment of inertia of different shapes. Here are some of the common shapes, dear students. Since I hope you remember the basic formula of this particular figures, you have already learnt it. So for rectangular lamina, consider a rectangle of the breadth B and the depth D, and considering the elemental component dA, this dA with the thickness dy at a distance y from the centroidal axis xx. Now when we try to write down the equation for this moment of inertia of this strip, what we get, area into the square of the distance. So this area dA is nothing but the thickness into of the strip into its breadth, so b into dy, and the distance y square, right? So for calculating the total area, now we have to do it integration over the limits. So total moment of inertia is nothing but in between the limits 0 to d by 2. And since it is symmetrical about the axis, you can see here, dear students, this shape is symmetrical and we are taking the limits from 0 to d by 2. So taking the double of that for finding out the complete moment of inertia, what we get it as Ixx is equal to bd cube by 12. Similarly, moment of inertia about the centroidal axis Iyy, we can get it as db cube by 12. By the same, following the same procedure, you can do it yourself. So we get it as db cube by 12. Now the next part of the same, that moment of inertia about an axis 1 1 passing through the bottom edge or the top edge. So here you can consider the same diagram, dear student. You see here that for the same diagram, but by taking the reference axis at the bottom, let us try to find out the moment of inertia by applying the parallel axis theorem. So you can see here, according to the statement of the parallel axis theorem, I11 is, that is the moment of inertia of the lamina about any axis, is equal to the moment of inertia about its centroidal axis plus area into the distance between two axes. Now in this case you can see for the rectangle the area is b into d and the distance between the two axes is d by 2, right? You can see the diagram again. This is our axis of reference 1 1 and this is the distance. This is the centroidal axis. So the distance is d by 2. So by and the moment of inertia about the centroidal axis just now we have calculated, it is bd cube by 12. So replacing all the values in this formula, what we get, dear student, that moment of inertia about axis 1 1 I11 is equal to bd cube by 12. Similarly, when we take the reference axis as 2 2 like this, then we get the value of the moment of inertia as db cube by 3. So this is about the rectangular lamina. Now we are considering the different shapes and let us see how its moment of inertia is changing. Now when we have a rectangle with a hole, rectangular hole cut out of that, then here we have to deduct the moment of inertia of this inner rectangle. So this is the formula bd cube by 12 minus small bd cube by 12. Keep it in mind, dear student, it is the moment of inertia about this horizontal x-axis. So when we replace this horizontal axis with the vertical one, so our formula will get modified. This is Ixx, right? So similarly, we can calculate the value for Iyy, isn't it? And in that case, it will change, just the value of this b and d will be interchange. You can do it yourself by writing down the formula and by taking the reference axis as a y-axis. So according to that, this value of this d and b will be changed. So uh, this value of d and b will be replaced and according to that you will get the formula. So now next figure, next shape is I shape. You can see common shape. Here also if you observe it carefully, student, so the moment of inertia of the I section, it is nothing but the moment of inertia of rectangle minus moment of inertia of the whole hollow rectangular part. So if you see this part, this I section, and out of that, this part, if you sum up, then you can see it as a, we get it as a rectangle. So it is nothing but from this whole rectangle, we are deducting these two parts like this. So the formula is Ixx is equal to BD cube. This is cube, dear student. Kindly consider it as cube. BD cube by 12 minus b minus b d cube by 12. Again, this is Ixx. Same exercise you can do it yourself by considering at y-axis, right? Axis of symmetry as y-axis. So in that case, again b and d will be swapped. Now here we have another C section. So for this C section, again if you observe the geometry, then you can see here that this rectangle is cut out. But the interesting part is that from the first rectangular hole, and this you can see here that axis of symmetry, it is symmetrical about x-axis only, whereas for this it was symmetrical about both axes, x-axis as well as y-axis. So in this case here Ixx is equal to BD cube by 12 minus, again this rectangle moment of inertia we have to deduct. So it is B minus B d cube by 12. Similarly, dear student, we can find out the moment of inertia of a thin ring. Keep it in mind, in case of the circular pattern, it is the moment of polar moment of inertia in terms of r and theta. So here we have polar moment of inertia. It is not of this ring is the summation of this elemental area dA into the distance r square, and for the whole area when we consider, then we have to consider the area of this ring. It is nothing but twice pi rt area. So moment of inertia about this axis xx is equal to ip by 2, as I told that when we have to consider it through the axis of symmetry. Here in this case ixx is equal to iyy, right, because it is symmetrical about both axes. So here what we get, it ixx is equal to iyy, right, and that's why we get this value of ixx is iyy is equal to ip by 2. So in the same context, when we have a circular lamina, so for calculation of the moment of inertia of the circular lamina, we have to again consider a elemental strip up at a distance r and integration over the radius from 0 to capital R, right? So area of the strip is again twice pi r, and doing the integration, simple integration, what we get here in terms of in terms of capital R, our polar moment of inertia of the circular lamina is pi r to the power 4 by 2. In terms of d, if we replace r as d by 2, then we get it as pi d to the power 4 divided by 32. Keep it in mind, dear student, this is the polar moment of inertia. Now, if we have to take the value of ixx and iyy, then in that case we have ixx and iyy both are same here. In terms, it is symmetrical about both the axes, and that's why we can uh, get the value of the polar moment of inertia as ip is equal to ixx plus iyy is equal to pi d to the power 4 divided by 32. So in terms of the diameter, you can get this value, and similarly you can get in terms of the radius. Similarly, here this last figure you can see here, dear student, a circular lamina with a circular hole, and in that case ixx is equal to iyy, that is equal to pi d by pi by 64, and the value of d, it is deducted, the inner circle is deducted. You can practice more common shapes by applying the parallel axis theorem and perpendicular axis, dear student. This is what for today's class we have studied the definition of moment of inertia. We have seen the parallel axis theorem, perpendicular axis theorem, and the application of these two theorem for the plane common figure. So this is what for today's class, dear student. You till then, take care. Goodbye.